guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match and Barcelona draw 0-0 with Atheltic Club. Exactly what I predicted in my match preview yesterday. Very much a dull and boring performance from both sides, to be honest, in a game where Barcelona had to capitalize on other teams' mistakes and could have salvaged one more proper, true league title race. Now, the line for Xavi that he selected for this game was actually fairly strong. It was Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, and João Cancelo, midfield three of Gundogan, Christensen, Frenkie de Jong, front three of Pedri, Raphinha, and Lewandowski. We'll talk about the injuries to Frenkie and Pedri near the end of the video, but I think the opening 20 minutes was the best 20 minutes of this game for the entirety of it, and it, of course, was the first 20 minutes where Barcelona did dominate the most. After Frenkie de Jong went down, Barcelona did not look the same ever since. We were dull, we were boring, we were pathetic, no attacking ambition whatsoever. It was the last 4 minutes of the game, and you could just see Barcelona passing it around the back. Araujo, Koundé, Ter Stegen, Inigo, Romeu, Araujo, Koundé, Ter Stegen, Inigo. I mean, you had been blessed with the opportunity to not only be back in the title race, but also to leapfrog into second place, and you just couldn't do it. I mean, if we win this game, we beat Villarreal and we beat Granada at home, we'd be top of the table right now. But of course, we're just throwing it away. This team is not going to win the league. We might, get back into it here and there. Oh, we might beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu at the end of April. It might be, 3 points, 4 points off them. This team has no, we are the defending champions, but they're not showing me anything that they're going to win this league. Every time when the going gets tough, when there's a moment where you have to win, they don't pull up, and we are just, for a vibe, just go out there and perform. They end up performing, like against Getafe. Oh, just go out there and get a result. We get a result. Even the games following Xavi's resignation as well. The only real game where we get to go out there and perform was Napoli, where we lost, or drew, so to speak. And this game, we drew again. It's just, this team ain't it, man. We're gonna go 100% trophyless. If we win anything, I will run around the streets naked, because it ain't gonna happen. Now, in terms of the tactical approach from Xavi, it was quite alright, especially in that first opening 20 minutes. But after that, again, one of the main criticisms I have for Xavi in his whole entire tenure at Barcelona is the in-game management. This man fails to tactically adjust during the game to how the game is going. I mean, I think his first mistake in this game was putting Raphinha on the left. We've been saying since last season that Raphinha cannot play on the left wing when you try to have Raphinha on the left and Dembele on the right. Did not work then. If you want to try it for a little bit now, that's fine, 10-20 minutes, but after that, you're thinking, get him off. I'm surprised that Raphinha played until the 70th minute, although the subs were waiting for about 5 minutes. Raphinha should have been off, I think, at halftime, in my opinion, especially when, we're trying to go for this game and Raphinha is not doing anything whatsoever on that left. It's weird because Raphinha on the right looks alright, and then on the left, he just looks like a boy. It's just, it's crazy to see the dropout from, switching sides from a winger's perspective. I think that Xavi also, his subs weren't the greatest as well. Of course, I think bringing on Fermin for Frenkie was the correct decision at the time, but Fermin Lopez had one of the worst cameos I've seen this season. We talked about Roberto against Villarreal, second game of the season, where I gave him a 1 rating. Fermin Lopez's performance tonight is on that, on that par. He looked like he was playing amateur football. Could not control the ball, could not make a touch. He gets the ball, loses it, gets the ball, loses it. I don't know if it was the occasion or what, but Fermin Lopez, to me, on par with probably top 5 worst individual performances of the season. I think Romeu's up there with Roberto, and then Fermin as well. Bringing on Lamine Yamal for Xavi was correct, but then again, you're thinking, if you're going to move Raphinha to the left, why not just bring in João Felix as the direct replacement on that left-hand side? Again, João Felix did play 60 minutes against Getafe, so you can't tell me he wasn't fully fit. Of course, the triple change at the end, you're just thinking he's going through the motions at that point, but this is a game that we could have won, man. Athletic Club were so poor. I think if they had, a stronger side, they would have absolutely cooked us from the 20th minute to the 9th minute. They were absolutely over us. I think in the last 6-7 minutes or so, we had some possession. We're trying to build something up, but from the 20th minute until the 8th minute, it was all Bilbao. Running down, crossing. We have possession. They'd win it back in under 20 seconds. It was all them, and they had their good players. This would have been, a goal fest for them, in my opinion, especially if they had Nico Williams alone. I think they would have at least won this game. And I told you guys in the match preview, this game only had 1 or 2 goals in it at the absolute most. And you can tell from that moment, it was going to be a reality. And it sucks that, again, Barcelona just couldn't capitalize on an opportunity that was presented to them on a plate. You're thinking, you're the last one to play during the match weekend. Girona dropped points, Real Madrid dropped points. What more can you ask for? at least they didn't lose, you could say. But I think the performance was one of the worst this season. More so, not worse in terms of actual performance, but more so because I cannot think of any chance we had in this game. The Cancelo chip, I think that's it. The Lewandowski one where Paredes comes in and tackles him so he didn't even get the shot on target. That's the only chances that were in this game. I think for both sides, honestly, I don't even remember Bilbao having a decent opportunity. All their shots were just going well wide. Even like open headers were going well wide. It was a very much, I would honestly say, a poor performance from both sides, but mainly from Barcelona, who had to go out there and get a result. I'm sitting here pre-game begging Barcelona win a game, especially after Girona just dropped points, 5 minutes before this game kicked off. You're asking what more motivation do you need? But again, these players just haven't been turning up, and this has been, of course, the story of the season, and it really does suck. Now, in terms of player ratings, I think Ter Stegen in goal probably get a 6. He did absolutely nothing this game. He had nothing to do whatsoever. I think Koundé at right back. Koundé's touch in this game was just damn near awful. He could not control the ball to save his life. I think defensively he was alright, so probably give him an average 6. I think Araujo dealt with what he had to do, 6 out of 10. I think Kubarsi as well, 6 out of 10. But for Kubarsi, he made this brilliant pass at the 63rd minute mark. Go look at it. Absolutely sublime from him. He did really good as well for coming up against, the likes of Gurazeta, Villalibre, and Inaki Williams. Very impressed with Kubarsi. Cancelo, he got man of the match, but I'll probably give him a 6 as well. I think he did nothing whatsoever past the 20th minute. He was quite shocking as well in transition, being really lazy once we lose possession in the midfield as well, tracking back-wise. So always leaving, Araujo and Kubarsi in no man's land. I think Christensen, probably a 6 as well. I think Gundogan, I'd probably give him a 7, mainly so for his fight. He was the only player that I can see who was, really pushing forward, telling players to move forward, really trying to create something. Frankie de Jong only played about 10-20 minutes, so I'll just give him a 6. Same with Pedri as well. We'll talk about them later on. Raphinha, probably give him a 5. I think once he went onto the left wing, he was absolutely dire. Lewandowski up front, probably give him an average 6. Didn't do anything, and that's in the player ratings is the story of this game. Everyone getting average 6 out of 10s because nothing happened in this game whatsoever. Even the subs, I would honestly give Fermin Lopez a 2 out of 10 this game. I think Fermin Lopez, it looked like, I don't know, my brother was put in that game. Like, you can just tell, like, it just looked like he never touched a football in his life. It was so weird. You expected Fermin Lopez to finally get an opportunity in the midfield, like replacement for Pedri, so to speak, as well. Just couldn't take it. Poor touches, poor control. I think he only had maybe a couple of successful passes, and that's it. Just everything that went to him just turned into nothing and turned into Atheltic Club having possession. Of course, the triple change, they barely came in. I think Lamine Yamal alongside Gundogan were the only 2 players in this game that can, salute walking off this pitch. I think Lamine Yamal, again, absolutely brilliant. Probably would give him a 7 out of 10 as well. And finally for Xavi, probably give him a 5. I think more so for his in-game management, not changing anything in-game was really the hard part to take. I think, his starting lineup selection was fine. The changes for the injuries to Pedri and De Jong were fine as well. But just, the triple change was a bit weird. Why didn't he bring on Victor Roque? Why didn't he bring on even Marc Guiu as well? Just something off the bench in that attacking front. We need goals. Just stuff like that with Xavi is the weird thing. I think Xavi really kept it conservative in this game. But you can see him on the touchline. He was absolutely fuming during the majority of this game, telling the team to push up to, do quick passes. I remember him saying on the touchline that he, do quick passes. And Christian holds onto the ball and he just kind of, throws his hand up. It's just stuff like that where maybe you could say the players aren't really taking the instruction of the manager. But speaking on that, both Araujo and Xavi will be suspended for this Friday's game against Mallorca. So, having Oscar Hernandez on the touchline this Friday ain't going to be great. But, of course, Araujo, good little rest for him ahead of the Napoli game. By the way, Napoli beat Juventus 2-1. They're on an absolute flyer since their new managers come in, and we've kind of been stagnated, so to speak. Finally, on the injuries, so on Frankie, look, it's going to be an ankle sprain. I think he'll only be out for a couple of weeks. I could see him definitely playing the game against Atletico Madrid at the Wanda in, I think, about 2 weeks' time. I think the Napoli game will be a bit of a push. We're hearing reports that if he is put on painkillers, he might be able to make the Napoli game. But the most important thing for him is that he's 100% healthy after the international break. Of course, we do have the Clasico. With Pedri, it's a relapse, and you guys know my opinion on Pedri. I told you guys back in January, if this man gets injured one more time this season, I am done. And I'm done. We should be putting him on the transfer list, renewing his contract on very low demands, keep the same salary, and if you get injured, your salary get halved while you're injured, like something like ridiculous like that, because I've had enough of Pedri. I mean, you get 2 games of magic and then 3 months out. What's the point? What is the point? I think Pedri as well being classified as an untouchable is so disrespectful as well to the players who go out there week in, week out and perform. Look at Gundogan, for example. I think Gundogan should be an untouchable player ahead of Pedri because he's there week in, week out putting in performances where Pedri puts in maybe a 6 out of 10, then an 8, then he's effed off for 3 months with this, another relapse. it's the same injury as well. This damn right thigh of his just cannot. It just seems to be made out of cheese string at this point. So that's on them. I think Pedri will probably be back after the international break, maybe miss the next few games. Of course, he'll be out for a month. Then we have an international break in a month, so that's another 2 weeks. I think after international break, he should be back. And Frankie, I think, will be back maybe a bit sooner than that. So overall, I would say disappointing, more so on the fact that we couldn't capitalize on the mistakes at the top of the table. I think, result-wise, on paper, draw at the San Mames isn't too bad, but with their weakened side, with us having to capitalize, it kind of demoralizes the result a little bit overall. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts on the performance, your player ratings as well, your thoughts on Xavi, his substitutions, his decision making, your thoughts on the 2 injuries as well to Frankie and Pedri. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.